Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Slipways, where today, the show must go on. I decided that before I hit record, but it's good to have it reified here. So, the Euphorians turn to a new technology which lets them contain the rifts, which is, it's an option. Seems like a good option to me. The Euphorians hope their new flux trap technology contains the problem. You have 28 years to establish at least 90 trade routes in the sector. That's right, I remember this one. You can safely use up to 5 unstable slipways. Each one above that increases instability by 1% per year. To avoid this, build traps and anchors. If instability reaches 100%, local space-time collapses, which makes the word local difficult to even conceptualize. Let's just not let it happen, so we don't have to figure out what it means. So we can build flux traps in a planet's orbit, which focus local space-time disturbances into a small region, stabilizing all of the slipways connected to the planet, but does cause a little bit of unhappiness. Or we can build flux anchors, which form a large rift around itself, channeling some of the general instability of the sector and just creating like a huge garbage area. Increases the safe number of unstabilized slipways by 3. Each anchor is slightly more expensive than the last one, and they really do take up a very impressive amount of space. So, score stars based on how unstable the sector is at the end of the mission and how many trade routes you establish. There is no way to restabilize. So you really do have to just keep it low. Keep it low forever. We have geo-harvesting here, and I am likely to just take it and use it, because this is going to be a nightmare. I can't remember. Do the flux things have upkeep costs? If they do, I don't know how else we would do this. I mean, we have gene adjustment. That's great. We have brain-machine interface. We have a lot of good tools. The Euphorians are definitely one of the better factions overall. Connections that would deliver a second unit of a resource already being supplied to a planet are instant and cheaper. It's pretty cool. All right. What do we want here? Like, artifact trading is so good. It's so hard to argue with artifact trading. Every unit of goods received by a populated planet increases its trade income by 30% is not nothing. It's a pretty small group of planets. I mean, you make a lot of... It's only people worlds, but you do make a lot of people worlds, and with artifact trading, it's way easier to pull it off. Yeah, I think we take that over well prepared. And I think well prepared is better than reciprocity basically always, so... Maybe I'm undervaluing reciprocity. It's just like, even if it is more than $60, I guess on tough, it's still valuable to have the income later in the game and everything. I don't know. Mass reactors is a total no-brainer. What an obviously fantastic technology. And then, xenofoods are good, but structures take extra slipways to take advantage of. And I really do think that, like, it feels bad to use structures on this mission in particular. I think I might like grab Genesis cells. We have enough early game technologies already. Gosh, every lab is like at least 3 or 4 slipways. What a goddamn nightmare. This is a really harsh challenge. Okay, what are the slipway instability values? 16%. Okay, so we're gonna 0-star one of these. I just don't. It's so hard to keep that number low. %16 is really brutal. Okay, out of curiosity. It's a bummer that it just doesn't let you just build it and like annihilate the things that are within it, because I want to put it together and see what the upkeep on it is, and apparently I'm just not going to be allowed to do that. All right, well, we have a pretty good food setup here, and potentially a way to get goods from that world. And then also, I would love to do this, but, you know, creating slipways is bad. That's a rough thing to deal with. All right, let's go ahead and set up the good food triangle here. Look at how unstable that slipway is. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm running this backwards. This is the biomass world. Oops. All right, tasks. So, Import hubs. Increase production of goods. 4 pairs of planets with two-way trade. I guess I could have held off on this and taken the two-way trade thing. And probably should have. Yeah, I probably screwed that up. That said, I feel like this gets easier to do the later in the game you are. This will get harder. Yeah, let's take this now. Okay, decent asteroid. Okay, no source of minerals, so we will not, in fact, be making goods. I guess let's see what this is. It's 2 sources of goods, it turns out. Of course, I can't access them until after I already have 3 goods. That really worked out well. That is a source of minerals, but I can't interact with it, and it's too far away from the goods world anyway. Bleak 1. It's a little on the nose. Actually, making this a people world is just like a really good idea, right? It can receive the second point of goods eventually, and it also does a two-way trade, and yeah, I think that's very sensible. That's going to put us over on Slipways, though. All right, so let me just experiment with this. The flux trap does have an upkeep cost. Also, it's expensive. I know this is gonna harm our overall happiness, but like, well, actually, I guess flux trapping here is totally sensible. 1, 2. So yeah, this will have 3 connections. That will have 4 connections eventually. So I guess it's better to do it here. Oh no, sorry, it already has its goods connection. So kind of all of these worlds are going to be 3. And a flux trap is cheaper than a flux the other thing. Okay. All right, so we have a way to use some goods. I guess we just set up the two-way trade here, right? See no reason not to. Although it is worth noting that we actually can't do it this year. Yeah, and we can use the goods from this for something else later, but this will get us, just setting up the two-way trade will get us 2 points of goods right now, which we need. Yeah. This will be 8 to set it up, and then the slipway is going to be another 13. Criminy. Money's tough. Okay. That's 4. 4 unstable slipways. Pretty rough. So if we got this water and moved another point of goods off of it, it would produce a 3rd point of goods right then and there and get us moving forward on our tasks. The second task is going to give us $160. It's a lot to work with. I am considering the sell-off at this point. So we can't get food for this one, even if there was a point of food, because there's a whole damn planet in the way. I could do the water here, but this planet won't produce its 3rd point of goods until we get rid of one of the other extant points. Oh, once this is a water world, it can actually send water back there. I was not expecting it to reach. That's cool. That's handy. That I assume is an $8, yeah. All right, well, I'm now thinking I'm just going to trash this for the cash. Because we have a source of goods here. We can figure this out. And we do have, yeah, we totally do have wave augmentation. So, yep. And we can just go ahead and make this once we can afford it, because that will be a stable slipway. I guess we just end the year. Now, if we do this, we produce an unstable, and that puts us in position to gain some instability. We still don't have an area around that is large enough to test whether the other management technology has upkeep, which really sucks. If I wanted to do another anchor, I guess I would just run it off of here. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, we could run... I could increase the amount of money this planet is making even further by sending it another point of goods, right? Every unit of goods is an increase. Let me see what these are. Okay. Not a lot of useful information there. So no obvious sources of food. I mean, I could set up food. I could go minerals, robots, food. Food here, plus a two-way trade for water, plus this point of goods. This planet could receive a bunch of water if we needed to. There would be two-way trades as well. But I would have to make one of them before... One of them would be the thing that finishes the mission. So I don't get full credit on the two-way trades. I think we're going to have to endure some stuff here. Is there room... I have no money asteroids. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're just going to deal. So this world's going to end up with 4 unsecured routes. Yeah. I think we just go ahead and do this. Restabilize considerably. All right. So the need for the goods won't exist until I already have the food and stuff over here. So we may as well just go ahead and figure that stuff out. Okay, robots make food. Oh yeah, we actually have to do both the two-way trades before I can... Yeah, that's a bummer. And then she was out of money, and so she had to accept 2% more instability. Okay. Got a world prosperous already. That's fun. Get 2 ocean planets to prosperous is going to be annoying to do. Whatever this is, we want it to be relatively quick, right? We want it to be something we can do soon, because I need that $160. So what's going to be the right way to solve that? We've already made quite a number of import hubs. We're trying really hard to do import hubs, so I guess my hope is that I will make more. 6 two-way trades. 6 two-way trades sucks ass, but... we do have to get it done, right? I should have taken the two-way trades first. Absolutely should have. All right, a thing to remember, for just in case we have to restart. I'm going to take it now. We're just going to hope. Okay. I mean, we can certainly lab. We can do a water lab. Let me see. Is there another place around here where I could set up a population world easily? Not really. Okay. Down here, perhaps? We have food. Absolutely not, said the video game. Grim. Alright, so, for testing purposes, flux anchors are 2 upkeep per year. However, how much of a choice do I do I realistically have? The answer is not very much. Does that reach? It does not. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely want to make this a people world. The part of the problem here is that we can't have a lab research water from all 3 of these planets if they're all connected to Melee 4. Partially because Melee 4 will run out of bodies, there will be no one to operate the lab. But also because, you know, we will create these 3 routes, and then, like, how will we connect all the planets up? So I think what I'm going to do here is, I totally spaced on this, but we should probably do this. Cool. That's useless. And I don't have an option to do the other thing. I mean, it's not useless. Points of goods are income. Right now we're at 9. Does the thing fit in this angle? It doesn't. Shoot. And the thing is, I don't want to put one here because we want to be able to use those angles. Also, the other thing is I don't have any money. So I can't build the... I can't build the other one. Oh, okay, here. I can destroy one of these, and then we can build ourselves one of these things, buy ourselves 3 routes. And then I guess I have some time to send out a probe. It really sucks that there are no settleable worlds anywhere near this food world. Alright, I'm going to create this thing. We're going to take a 2-way. And then we're going to search beyond it for inhabitables. Okay. Well, for our lab to ever work, this simply must be a people world. And maybe we'll have to figure out a way to make that functional somehow. It's definitely going to hurt. But the good news is, we do get a 2-way trade out of it. Huzzah! Okay. Set up the first laboratory. Okay, 10 years in, we've got a 5 science lab going. Pretty grim stuff. The stars are rapidly slipping away. Okay, that has range to there at least. This is probably just worth doing then, right? Because we generate extra money, generate extra income from having it connected to that world. And that world's really kicking ass right now, actually. I need food. I am definitely not doing any of this stuff, right? I mean, brain-machine interface might actually be good. No, not the trap, the planet. But I probably want geo-harvesting or whatever first, right? We want to take one of these other things first. Yeah, that seems pretty likely to be true. Well... Would I be able to place one of these over here? I totally would. That would eliminate a lot of my remaining instability, so let's just burn this thing. Am I allowed to flux trap a... Well, I don't have any money right now. My question was going to be, am I allowed to flux trap a lab? I think the answer's gotta be no, but... Is this obstructed? No. And the out-of-range message starts here. So, I think that's our answer. Biomass, food, and this presumably will work. Yeah, okay. So once we have wave augmentation, we have a way of feeding this world. It's going to be a minute, though. I may as well connect this up. So plus 3% for right now. Okay. I was pretty sure. So let's see here. We have... Gosh, I wish I could flux trap this world. Does one fit here? Nope. Yeah, we've got angles around this just tight enough that a flux trap doesn't work anywhere. It would be so nice to be able to clear 6 slipways like that. I guess I know I'm going to run a bunch more off of here, so we can go ahead and flux trap this now. Buys us a little bit of distance for the moment, and then it just gets better. And we could absolutely just take harvest. Gene adjustment will get us some extra money each year. Harvest has the... Like, it sucks that you spend time harvesting, but harvest has the extra utility of being able to get us, like, an unbounded amount of money. Not literally unbounded, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I think we had to wait one more year. How much is the next flux trap? 35? Or, sorry, anchor. Next anchor is 35. And right now, there's no world that I could flux trap that would do any more than 2 stability. So yeah, that's probably not worth pursuing. Okay. Also out of curiosity. No, that's not going to work. Because we will have a spare point of water here. So this will be 283. Okay, so just find stuff to do for a little while. This can be a biomass 2-way world. And we can actually do a biomass lab over here. Yeah, I actually do not hate that. Plus, 2-ways are just, they're just good money. I think we could flux trap this world. I wish there was a way here. We're going to build this and then see. Okay, yes, we can still make that happen. I think that flux trap is worth building. All right, end of the year. Get me my geo-harvesting. I guess I don't need to do this right now. Hold on. Okay. Well, I was saying okay because like, oh good, a source of robots, but that doesn't actually get me food or anything. I was trying to figure out how to put more juice into this lab I want to build, because like two a two resource lab is not very good. Charitably, I would call that not very good. We are at 33 roots. All I can really keep doing is just building, right? Yeah, I'm going to need an extra source of population from somewhere around here. And I want to do like the same lab in this location, right? I want to generate do Guy World here, and then 2 points of population from opposite sides plus 3 points of resource. And we don't quite have that situation here, but we will in another technology or two. I think I do want to get brain machine interface, so yeah, it'll be a minute. How am I gonna pull this off? I mean, it would be cool for this to be the people world. Because, again, two-way trade. That would work eventually. This connection is absolutely possible with wave augmentation. I might just go for it. We're going to destroy, I think, both of these planets. Oh, no, just the remnant, unfortunately, the more valuable one. But yeah, I am going to go for it. Will this work ultimately? I have no idea. We'll find out. But I need two-way trades and, you know. Okay, we can do robots to food. I don't know what my plan is goods-wise. But I don't have to. So setting up another lab, as ever, going to be a very expensive proposition. I guess I do have to destroy this. All right, we're going to take brain machine interface. Because I want this lab to be able to be actually fed by both of the people worlds. That's going to have to go as well. All right, hopefully that's good enough because that's as close as I can get it. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, a little bit more science to work with before the end of the year. Let's go ahead and brain-machine interface every successful or better planet that we have. There we go. Okay. Helpful. And then we gotta wait 2 years to have augmentation. Interesting. I was not even thinking about that, but that's both within range and not covered by this, so that's pretty cool. We are on +2 slipways, or +2 instability right now. Do I want to throw up a quick... Yeah, probably, right? Yeah. Alright. Let's make this happen. Oh, hey. A rift. Weird. I didn't know those were out here. So I want to do this. Oh, this will probably reach, actually. So if I build one of these... Hold on, I gotta adjust the camera a little bit. If I build one of these, I could put it like here. Yep, that's fine, and that's fine. Okay, cool. Gives us a little bit more room to work with. Because I probably do want to just Gaia world this, right? Get another two-way trade. Hold on. Do I have the population for that? No. This isn't going to be a two-way trade until I can get this leveled up, but it will be eventually. Because I need 1 point of population here. I guess I can't feed the lab. That's a shame. All right, let's do this. And then take wave augmentation. And then get this two-way trade of import. And then get this. And then if I can level this world up, we will get a point of biomass that will go to there. And that will be pretty great. All right, also, now that we have this ability, let's... Oh, I guess this when this situation is resolved, it's going to get us our sixth two-way. So that's good. Biomass. I guess I should destroy a planet. It's a better dollars to what do you call it? Better dollars to time ratio. Should I hit gene assignment or gene adjustment, or should I just move on? I'm going to take it because it is going to save us some time. Okay, there we go. Ocean planets to prosperous. Yeah. And then we got to send goods to there, and then we got to do that. Okay. I forgot that this world was going to take both of those, but it's actually fine. That's fine. And I'm doing an okay job, actually, keeping our instability relatively low. I forfeited a star, but the next star is not lost until 32. I'm not saying we're going to be able to hold that, but I have some hope. We're at 51 slipways already, or 51 trade routes. Is it... I guess the thing I wasn't actually paying attention to is when it says trade routes, does it mean a route where trading happens? Or does it mean like each export? If I do a two-way trade, does that count as 2 trade routes is the question. I don't actually know. It doesn't really make sense to do the chip thing here. All we want to do right now is just keep expanding, right? So what else could we do that would be valuable? We gotta try to fix up some of our ocean worlds. So what's your deal? You need, well, first of all, you need this. Secondly, neighbors. The answer to the question is neighbors. Let's make sure we're doing that wherever we can. This ocean world, we could Gaia world to send food to there, or to send biomass to this world, potentially, which is the thing that it will need if it is able to get minerals, and it looks like it may be able to get minerals. This is a little awkward. I wish these 2 worlds were swapped. Okay, this ocean world needs its neighbors to flip. Oh, shoot. I forgot to make that connection while there was still active population. And I can't go back. I've launched probes. Crud, y'all. So, like, in theory, if there's an inhabitable world down here, It shouldn't be too hard to flip like 2 of these, right? So this is the only peopleable world. Well, obviously that's problematic. We don't have an obvious use for... Or we don't have an obvious way to get the chips built because of the way these are positioned. But I think testing this is what we... Like, expanding down here and searching is the way we got to do this. So show me minerals and remnants. Both of them would be sick. Okay. That'll do. Because we can then do minerals out to each of these. So connect. And it's... This world is a mineral maker. So I want to do that to level that up. And then... We're at +3 right now. We can afford to do this because we're not actually planning on powering that mineral world. So yeah, let's do that because we're gonna just run a bunch more routes off of this anyway. So does it matter? Hard to know, actually. One of these is going to be a chip world. The other one's going to be a mineral world. Or the other one's going to be the goods world. And it's hard to know. I guess if like one of these is inhabitable, it's very easy to inhabit it. And we'll want the goods to be on this side. We can maybe do a little bit of intel over here. So it is easier to get a second point of minerals to that world, probably. Yeah, and there's nothing we're going to inhabit on this side. So this will be the chip world. And then this can be a goods world. Okay. My next technology is mass reactors, right? It's got to be. So we could flip this world with mass reactors because we could have it do a Gaia world over here. And then just send the point of energy in exchange for the water. That feels like a winner. So that'll make this ocean world prosperous. And what else will we do? Fuck if I know. It's a good world for inhabiting. Yeah, part of it is like I just have to find another ocean world, I think, that I'm going to be able to make successful. Okay, this world can be inhabited. Which means this world and this world can each receive more population. And then we can try to figure that thing out up there. I do not hate that. Let's build one of these over here in the rift. I would like to leave that available. I guess I think I have a use for that already. Let me burn this just to make room. And then we'll build this as far down here as we can. Okay. So that's enough for mass reactors, which are amazing. We're going to harvest this. Okay, so that's a successful world now. Oh, interesting. Okay, we're definitely doing that. So if I make this a mineral world, what is that? Okay. If I make this a mineral world, we won't have anything to do with the minerals, but it will be a place that can receive water. And we can make a point of energy out of it and send the energy somewhere. This needs... I guess we want to send the water out and the energy back in. Probably. Let's go ahead and do that, I guess. We're at +1 right now. Is there a good place to build? Once again, I so desperately wish I could stabilize this world. They knew what they were doing with that stabilizers on people worlds make your shit miserable, because, like, you always want to stabilize a people world. Always. Creating great big no-go zones in space is a bummer, but I do think that this is one of the more responsible solutions that we have access to. Yeah, all right. Just doing my best. Okay, cool. And then... I mean, I probably actually want to produce the goods, right? It's probably better to send the energy here. And yeah, it might be. No, okay. Does not fit. I had hopes. So this world's not actually prosperous yet. We should fix that. And I think this is the right way to do it. Okay, 2. Then... this reaches, right? Yeah, it's just a minor obstruction. Okay. I mean, I want to do minerals there. But, like, we got to be able to send chips back. I guess, you know, mass reactors. I guess mass reactors solve this problem, too. That said, we are gaining instability again. Let me do a little bit of probing. Is there a spot here that's big enough to hold one of these? Even without the asteroids, the answer is kind of no. We can blow up a planet for it, obviously. Not something I'm opposed to. Destruction takes time, though. Which I do not have an excess of at the moment. I mean, it's just 1. I can gain 1, I suppose. Alright, so let's do People World. Make this a scrapping operation. That's successful. And then... actually, let me undo that. I want to do the probe on this side of that move. Hopefully the reasoning for that was relatively clear. How am I going to get this to 6? We can get it to 5 by sending the point of biomass. But how am I going to get it to 6 imports and exports? Do I have to send the energy here instead and just let this planet suffer? Well, okay. Oh, that actually... I'm shocked that that reaches. Okay, well then this is fine. We make this a people world instead. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're at +4% right now? Can I do this? Nope. Flux obstructed by my other flux obstructors. Can I do one here? We could stabilize 3 roots off of this. Yeah, all right. Oh, right, technology. Remember that? Remember technologies? The thing is, I don't know what I want right now. Let me hold off. Okay. That's 6. How are any of these going to get successful? I guess is another question. One that I don't currently have time for. That's not the button. There we go. Okay. 6 and all needs met. Now, I need 2 of these to flip. Because we have 1 flipped already. Okay, cool. That's 1 right there. We're at +4 again. Gosh, I want to stabilize this world. Here's a nice big dead space. Just gonna give up expanding in this direction ever. Okay, technology. So Genesis cells can only help so much. We do have access to plasma containment, but if I had water, we wouldn't need plasma containment. Is this a water world? No, it is not. All right, well, let's flip this. Okay. So now this world needs 1 more successful neighbor. Should probably keep doing this wherever I can. I do wish that there was a, like, I wish that when you held the control view or something, it would also put an indicator over every single one of your planets of what project it has, if it has a project. Oh, right. Mass reactors is conflicting with... Yeah, I had to remember that. Okay. Just making sure to continue juicing the stuff here. So... Is this ocean world more flippable? No, right? We have lots of places to put water. Not so much with the places to get population. That said, if I do want to build another route or 2 over here, wouldn't be the worst thing. Oh, the population from here totally reaches. Wait, do I get this to 6? It's at 3 right now. 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh, I think so. Well, I feel silly. And then it has 2 successful neighbors, so all we have to do is flip this planet or that planet. Either one is good. Let's go ahead and build the void thingy. You know, the thingy. Looking at like, do any of these help us with this situation? I think the answer is no. There's no extra points of water to send off of this world. We have access to hyperdrive. Don't know if I think that's useful. Oh, well, I mean, sorry, that does it. Definitely should do that before spending my thing. So, I mean, robots to goods would let us distribute some additional, or flexible fabrication, I should say, would let us distribute some additional points of stuff. Import hubs. Also, how many prosperous plants do I have in total now? 5? That's not too bad. If we can keep sector instability from ever going up again, it's worth a star. And we're still pushing on this, and it's getting pretty close to the end here. I mean, do we get value out of hyperdrive at all? Maybe. If this can reach with the bonus range, then the answer is definitely yes. Also, hyperdrive is broadly very good. So it'd be from like here. That's a lot of extra distance. 48 science. We will get to 48 science. But it's only 60% extra range. We won't know if that's actually going to be a solution to our problem until, quote unquote problem, until very late. I should probably run this, because that's just a route we can run. And the main thing we are still missing is trade routes. I'm looking around for like places where Genesis cells does work. I suppose Genesis cells would cause this world to produce a point of, oh wait, but Genesis cells is a project, and I've already built projects on most of our planets. So Genesis cells, I kind of spaced on that, but it's basically impossible for this to be meaningful. Okay. Then what else? What else in its stead? I think maybe it is just hyperdrive. I don't know. Like, there are not that many places where a hyperdrive would be useful, though. Which is weird. But yeah, looking at this technology, like I kind of don't get a lot of value out of building most things. Maybe I take whatever's cheapest so that I can move on. Slipway cost down is not bad. Does energy-driven industry doesn't do very much for us here, right? No, not really. Plasma containment is like good in theory. We don't have a lot of places where we could use it right now, but we do have a bunch of water-producing planets over on this side of the network. So maybe. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take it, even though I don't have a great plan for it right now. Yeah, like immediately it lets me flip this world, which almost flips this world. Very nearly. I mean, we can get an extra point of export here trivially, whenever we want. Interstellar networks, sadly, requires you to build a project. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. Okay, let's focus. So, here's a place where I wanted to build. This is going to get us some extra trade. Hold on. Okay, yes, that was 2 trade routes. So a slipway is not a route, and an output is a route. It's good to know. How am I going to control the instability that I'm about to produce? I guess I'm just going to build another one of these. They are getting expensive. Are there sources of goods nearby? Do we have like a remnant world? That would be pretty cool. We do have a remnant world. Is it out of range? It is not out of range. It's very far away, but that is still technically in range. Okay, well... Okay, that doesn't interfere too much. 83 is tight. We are closer than I would like to not winning this. But this is another 2 trade routes. Like, we've got it. It's just not going to leave a lot of time for other things. I do need to get a second point of resources to this. Are you at... So this flipping would be really good for us. I need to get minerals to here. I guess, actually, the way I resolve this could be... There we go. And now, if this outputs a point of people, it will gain... It will become prosperous, which rules. Teleportation. Yes? Teleportation feels pretty good. And we actually have the money to make really good use of it. So, post-scarcity allows us to upgrade planets to legendary. There's not much of a compelling reason to do that on in scenario play, but legendary worlds are worth even more than usual in normal gameplay. So that's compelling. So if I flip this, that makes this world become prosperous. And we're not at the prosperity cap yet. Plus, this creates an import hub. Remember how we had a mission about that? Because I didn't. Okay. Does this work? No shit. Well, I didn't research Genesis cells anyway. Is there a place that I could get water? Because, like, that would make this an import hub. I mean, no, there isn't. All right, where else can I do import hub stuff? This planet already has 3 inputs. Where are some planets that we could push to a third point? I could teleport water from here to there. Feels pretty bad. Oh, here's one. We could do a plasma containment point of energy for this. Also, I think I'm going to... Yeah. All right. So yeah, I could spend this to do plasma containment to here. That would be a 6th point as well. Although this world is probably never going to be prosperous. Sorry, what was it? We're at 14 right now? I mean, I'll take a 14. What does this world need? That's right. I knew that. This world also needs import-export. Well, I'm considering teleportation. For sure. I don't want to, like, overdo it with that, but can be mighty useful. If I send a point of food from here to there, that world would become an import hub. This can't reach anything. I have a point of energy that's just floundering here. Yeah, I could do lots of teleporting import hubs. There are a lot of places where I could bounce a point of population, and perhaps it's worthwhile to do so. It would be cool if I could set up two-way trades on those at the same time, like I can here. Oh, that world's already an import hub, though. If I send it this point of goods, though, it will flip all the way to prosperous. So that's cool, I guess. Less pressing. There's only 1 star at stake on that. Alright, I actually am going to do this. Okay. I didn't realize that was going to make the world prosperous at the same time. That's also good information. Is there a world where teleporting this energy to it would be particularly cool? This world's actually almost at 6 inputs without even trying. That's pretty neat. Why are you not prosperous? Because you need a neighbor to flip? That's doable. We could do plasma to upgrade this world to successful, which would flip that. We could just get this world some chips, which is actually very easy to do. If this world had water... Yeah. Interesting. Well, there's probably no way to set up this teleport that doesn't block that, though, because the route has to run... Oh, no, it runs within the penumbra of the planet as well. Never mind. Not a thing to worry about. I do have some spare biomass that could be directed to this planet, which would cause it to become prosperous while creating an import hub. That kind of thing I'll do. Is the angle on this going to be functional? Yeah, cool. And then we need to do one more. Also, if this flipped, it would make that world prosperous. We're gonna. Oh, we already did cap out on prosperous worlds, so never mind about that. I don't care so much about that. I need one more import hub. We can teleport a point of goods from this world to that world. It's maybe not the most exciting, but it does work. Yeah, I mean, that's functional. Any amount of biomass or water to here would also totally work. Although that's not... It's not totally trivial to actually do. Oh, does this run? It is the most technically barely obstructed. Doing it would make this world flip, but I don't care, I think. Yeah, that doesn't actually matter. Oh, here's an easy one. What was I thinking? Okay. Cool. 2 stars plus the trade capital. How does this work again? Each import and export. So, like, that world's actually really good. Starting from the 8th. I guess this world has 9. Is that right? Yeah. 4 out, 5 in. So even with all the bullshit, that's like even with this world being way above average, it's still barely scoring. I do feel like the Ephorian trade capital is way harder to get value out of than the others, which is a shame. I suppose it's a little bit of a control on the wild power level of the Ephorians. So we're probably getting 1 star on that one, right? Yeah, probably. I am 1 trade route away from producing instability. Being able to build a trap off of this world would be so good. We're about to have 28 science, and I don't really have a strong plan for it. So what I would like to do at this juncture is just make trade routes occur wherever it's easy to do so. Turning on the mass reactor in this thing is one free trade route. Can I do that to here? Yeah, okay. This is our Aphorian trade capital. I may as well just go ahead and build that. We're not going to do better. So, 8 months. I just got us to 95. The question is, in 8 months, can we get to 100 routes? Or is there something better to do? We can probably do this, right? I can probably gain 1 happiness. All we have to do is run a route somewhere that upgrades a planet, and that'll get us to 8. Or to that star, I should say. This point of goods to there is a little bit expensive in terms of time. It is a two-way trade, though. So it is 2 trade routes. And it does get us a lot of happiness. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. Right, because that's 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months. Geez, I flipped a bunch of worlds without realizing that was going to happen. So that's sick. Then this world needs 1 more friendly neighbor and also, or 1 more neighbor to flip and also to import or export once more, which I would get off of this world if I did the port. I still need 3 more routes though. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off. I don't think we have enough unconnected things. Because I only have 5 months left. Yeah, this doesn't connect anywhere. This doesn't connect anywhere. Well, the next happiness star is at 140. We could still get that, potentially. Oh, I have to make sure we don't go over on space-time as well, though. That's important. So, okay, if we spend 3 months running this, I'll get 1 planet bumped to maximum happy. This planet won't quite be there, though, right? It'll have enough imports and exports, but it will still be short a flipped neighbor, which is not easy to resolve, unfortunately. In fact, I cannot resolve. When I get... Okay, at the beginning of next year, we can take hyperdense architecture, which in a couple of places will actually matter. Oh shit, no, sorry, 5 months, right. At the beginning of the next year, I would be able to do cool stuff if there was going to be another year. And I only get to build 1 more teleporter. Yeah, 5 months is not a lot of time to gain 6% happiness. I might just have to accept that we're done. Y'all know how I hate to do that. Well, I guess we can upgrade these planets simultaneously. This feels like an okay expenditure of the time. Oh, right, you have to put out another point of water. Shit. I did forget about that. How many routes am I over now? 2? Do I have the space to just build another one of the things? Actually, no, right? Can I... Is there a planet that's producing 3? If we're not going to hit this happiness threshold anyway, I could just do this, right? Okay, and now I have room to build one more route, but I also only have one more month. And I don't think anything I do can matter. Yep, okay, I'm just going to tap. We're good. Again, 19. So close to the stars all being visible. I love it when it at least fills up the thing. That's not fixable. That would require me to see a single two-way trade that I just missed up to now, which I don't believe we are going to be able to do. Wouldn't that be a fun way to end it, though? This would be a pretty good... Or no, sorry, that's right. That planet's not going to accept a biomass. Ah, whatever. Whatever. So, that's it. We actually did it. We did do the whole campaign on Tough. I made it through. And I hardly had to retry at all. Thank you all so much for watching. I have had a great time with this. I am unsure. I think there are going to be a couple more episodes. There's a thing coming out next week that I definitely want to make space for on the channel, but it's not until late in the week. So we might go back and try to clean up some of our earlier levels. We might just do some normal games, explore the quirks a little bit or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. So yeah, come back next time on Tuesday. There's gonna be a little bit more Slipways before we close out the series. And we'll see you then.